As far as the chaos we find ourselves in these days, it's difficult to say which side pulled the trigger first. Erusia deployed an automatic intercept system with drones. Osea implemented long-range attacks to bypass them. So Erusia decided to sabotage Osea's communications and navigation technology. Erusia couldn't launch a satellite themselves, but they were still able to hack the software of the Osean transmission and navigation systems. Before Osea even noticed, half of their satellites were hijacked. That's when things got ugly. In an attempt to knock out each other's capabilities, both forces launched fighters loaded with anti-satellite missiles at the same time. Only military satellites were targeted. However, their destruction created a debris field in orbit, which wiped out scores of other satellites, both private and government-owned. What kept the world relatively sane up to that point had been free-flowing data and information. But now, those were gone. All that remained was chaos and confusion. Government and civilian broadcasts and transmissions were cut off. The flow of information had ceased. Forces on both sides of the conflict now found themselves unable to communicate with their superiors. Many of the smaller countries annexed by Erusia and yearning for their independence seized the opportunity and started their own uprisings. As for why some of Osea's military decided to break off from the main force and continue on their own, I have no idea. Perhaps there was some sort of dispute over the chain of command. The continent that had once seen wars that were only fought between Osea and Erusia was now full of numerous conflicts between rival leaders vying for power. Insurgencies were everywhere. I even heard a rumor that a group of Osean convicts had rebelled. Rumors. It never ceased to amaze me that even at a crazy time like this, something as trivial as a rumor could find its way here. Communications from corporate were cut off. Apparently, the entire computer network was down. It was a wise decision to make our drones autonomous with AI instead of being radio-controlled. Wise and forward-thinking. Even with their GPS offline, they can still use their sensors to navigate as long as they're working properly. I'm sure the drones are still working perfectly, following their mission orders to the letter. I wish I could upload Mihai's new data to them. But without a connection, I can't upload the software to the active drones. The new ones we're making, though, there should still be enough time to upgrade those before they're activated. I'll be taking the data I've acquired away from the front lines now. Oh, and I'll be taking the girls, too. I told my assistant Masa it was time to get Mihai's granddaughters ready to leave here. She's not much older than the girls, but she has a way about her, and I'm sure she won't have any trouble with them. I saw a plane flying off in the distance. I imagine it was looking for a safer place. The plane had a rose emblem on it.
Erusia's communication networks have been down since their satellites were destroyed. Unfortunately, we are experiencing trouble too. All of Usia has been affected, and we don't know when things will be back up and running. We're not even sure if this is Erusia's doing. Still, we will follow the strategy that was originally planned, and move on to the next operation after liberating Farbanti. Let's get to it. Since the war began, we've been receiving communications in secret from an officer in the Erusian army.
With the capital under our control, Erusia's radical element is losing support quickly, affecting the balance of power.
HQ is thinking of using the military officer as a way to gain leverage to settle peace negotiations. The officer is currently hiding in the outskirts of Anchorhead Bay, having joined up with support dispatched from the Osean army. The plan is that they'll take a standard vehicle to a rendezvous point at a harbor in the east part of the city, where a helicopter will be waiting.
I would like the new Strider Squadron to provide escort for the officer. Cyclops will remain at the base on standby to serve as defense.
With the communication network currently down in the capital, I very much doubt Erusia will be able to mount a regimented counterattack. However, it is likely that Erusia's intelligence department and the remaining forces who are aware of the officer's movements will interfere. Keep a close eye on the officer and make sure he stays safe. Our victory in Farbanti has given us a golden opportunity to finally end this war. Be safe out there.
Take note that our satellite-based IFF has become unreliable following the recent communications failure. As such, target ID will be done by processing the images from the infrared cameras on your aircraft. Objects will initially appear as unknown on your HUDs, but will be ID'd once you close in on them for a set period of time.
Strider Squadron, you're cleared to taxi.
To the unidentified Osean craft, this is Captain Carl of the Osean Army. Are you here for the escort? You're not the squadron I was expecting. Are you really friendlies? Over.
This is Longcaster. Airborne warning and control system for the Osean Long-Range Strategic Strike Group. Captain Carl, they're on our side.
And those two pilots we've heard about must be here too.
Okay, I hope you're right. Longcaster, are all of these really unknowns?
It's a state of civil war. The Erusian army is fighting itself. There's no guarantee the Oseans won't shoot us in this confusion.
We'll image process the unknown's cockpit cams to identify friendly foe. The process will be faster if you get a close-up, well-centered image.
Meanwhile, we just run if they shoot us, right?
Affirmative. Always identify your target before you fire.
Something I'll never get used to. But tonight has been a total shock.
See where the ones on the radio. We don't know our location. Give us orders.
We have no orders, but we do have ID data. Check your TAC terminal.
Roger that.
The city under martial law. Gunfire and the roar of jets echoing through the streets.
Give me Strider Squadron's IDs. Go. And, hand me that sandwich. Entering the Anchorhead Bay area. Buildings will block your line of sight. Make sure to keep track of your objective.
How this war ends depends on this mission. I'm counting on you. Understood.
ID'd as Osean forces. This is AWACS from the LRSSG.
Our intro has been updated.
Strider Squadron. Identify the unknowns along the route. It's Erusian.
They are responding aggressively.
The negotiations were successful, Master. This opened up a path for us. The more the merrier. We can't see the tops of the roofs from down here. Be on the lookout for enemy ambushes. Made it through the Anchorhead Bay area. We're heading along Highway 208 under the bridge. We're taking the coastal highway at the next ramp.
All right.
Why don't people realize this?
There's a strict curfew, but people gather at bars and other places to learn what's going on.
destroyed. Signs of nuclear warfare at the beginning of this war are now gone. APC eliminated.
Nice work. That takes care of that one. We're heading for the highway. Thanks to you. We got out of paying that toll.
This is AWACS Argus. Those who can hear us are our allies. Your new orders are to dispose of Eduard Labarth. The Osean Army officer with him is an imposter.
We're almost at landfill number 7. If we can make it through, we'll be in arm's reach of the rendezvous at Kruger Park. Captain Carl, do you have the means to record this conversation? I wish to explain to you the situation inside Erusia. I'm sure the boys listening upstairs will record it. The open declaration of war, expanding the front lines, was all the work of some young Erusian officers. They were referred to as the radicals, but there was an unseen force guiding them, whose technology they borrowed from the Belkers. They actually went to war. The performance of the attack crews exceeded their wildest dreams. And they were incredibly clean, which got public opinion and the opportunists within the military on their side. Even manipulated the process. Belkin technology advanced UAV research. Flight tests for the last 10 years. They used the flight data from a former ace pilot to create drone AI, but to us it's no different than magic or alchemy. Airplanes are meant to be flown by human beings. Those of you listening in, am I wrong? We're heading towards Kruger Park. Rendezvous point at the helipad on this man-made island. Go ditch the car and take the helicopter from there.
Members of a military group calling itself the Free Erusians. Missile in the air, evading.
We're the only ones here on our side.
An unknown is blocking our scheduled route.
No response. Gotta pass.
Trigger, our VIP is in trouble. Clear the way for him. news. Hostile armored forces outside of the tunnel. I'm thinking that we should go say hi before they ruin the General's day.
Strider 1 is in the clouds. It's ID'd as Erusian.
The General's a real celebrity. Seems everyone wants to meet him.
Traffic flows are running low.
We're taking heavy fire. Concentrate your fire on the combat vehicle.
Enemy force on, breaking. This one's all mine.
We were nearly done for. I couldn't have asked for better timing.
How'd you last long, bastard? It's a drink, and we're here to help.
We've reached the industrial zone. This should be the new rendezvous point. The coordinates are up ahead. Take out any enemies in the surrounding area.
Officers from countries annexed by Russia have taken multiple routes and declared independence.
Don't worry, we won't let anybody through after you.
Almost at the rendezvous. The rear of the others. Understood.
The radicals truly believe most of drone productions will become full systems. They shouldn't take responsibility for the capital's fall, but instead they're prolonging the war. That is why proper conservatives like myself are moving to regain control. If all goes well, we should be able to sign a truce with Russia. We've reached the rendezvous point. There's the chopper, too.
We turn to in this darkest hour. We need a beacon of light to show us the way. This is the Erusian News Network.
Okay, let's go. We're getting out of here. We've had just about enough of this place. I'd like to offer my thanks to the LRSSG. They should finally bring about a true end to the war.
Understood. Good luck. Multiple unidentified aircraft approaching.
This plane is carrying civilians. We have escort fighters, but we do not intend to engage in combat. Please stand down.
What's going on?
Try to get a little closer. Weapon use is prohibited.
What's going on? Dr. Schroeder!
Whoa, there's a girl on board? He's not lying about carrying civilians.
No, unless she's a soldier.
Weapon use is prohibited. We've checked footage. It does seem to be a transport with escorts.
Repeat, this craft is carrying civilians. We are not here to fight.
Max Lancaster. Do not engage the liaison. Break off now.
Can you hear me on this channel, OC craft? Those escort aircraft are drones. They are currently being operated autonomously. They are not being controlled by anyone. They are flying on their own volition. What?
In that case, we have no choice but to shoot the aircraft down.
Unfortunately, yes.
We did what we could. Weapons free. You are cleared to attack the escort.
Welcome. Understood.
Wilco. Missile.
Hey, it's not our fault that we listen to reason. Why do something like that? Whoever did is the king of all dumbasses.
Can't afford the MQ-99 launch. Our commands are over in here. They must be accessing it remotely. It is beyond this.
Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
Son of a bitch.
Head this way.
No. The escort must have used its remote activation rights to gain more allies. Clever.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you. Strider 1, Fox 2.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Missile evaded.
Stall warning.
Target acquired.
I'm behind my target.
Missile. Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile. 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 Stall warning. Missile. Missile.
Enemy on your back.
Missile.
Behind the enemy.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Warning. Enemy has a beam on you. Five bandits remaining.
Damn it. All the drive they need.
Stall warning.
It's not enough to be running functional. Anti-that should not function.
Four bandits left. Three bandits to go. Two bandits left. Show them what you got. One bandit to go. Strider 1, target acquired.
Behind the enemy. Strider 3 launching missile.
You're low on missiles.
Strider 1, that's what I like to see. Another story to tell my boy.
Understood. All hostiles have been eliminated. Nice. General's helicopters flying safely outside Anchorhead Bay. All aircraft, RTB, mission complete.
All hostiles, huh?
General, the Ocean aircraft is here to pick us up.
Ocean's army? Elaborate. They stole our sealed orders. It should be a piece of cake.
Are you sent by the General Staff? No, we'd like you to send... No, I can't!
There are 3 scratches.
What does that mean?
The tail of that plane.
Broadcaster, are all of these...
The island we went to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Osean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right. I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Osean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate when the guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane. Passenger, not military. I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and I shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there is no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio. It still works!
I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
"You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness."
Just what did you see here?
Okay, enough talk. Your opinions have all been taken into consideration. Beyond the seizure of Farbanti, which is important, and supporting the Erusian officer. At this point, I just don't know what our strategy is, or what our mission will be. Radio communication is still patchy for both the military and civilians, so we're getting zip from Mission Command about our orders. Still, with countless Erusian forces in the area, it's too dangerous for us to stay around here waiting for a miracle. Now, regarding Count's suggestion to think about self-defense, I think we should make a break for Tyler Island. It was a large Osean base before the start of the war. Count says his previous squadron took part in an operation to seize control of the island. It has the only base that will get us to the space elevator without refueling. It's also a transport facility for supply ships that provide drones and ammo for arsenal birds. For the Osean forces that are looking to reclaim the space elevator, those are two great reasons in its favor. If everything went according to plan, the base may already be in Allied hands when we get there. Though based on what Count told me about the island operation, it won't be easy to seize control.
If the ground troops have managed to open the bridgehead, the transport route to Osea for supply ships should be available.
So much at stake, I can't imagine Erusia just giving it up without a fight. Things could really have gone bad.
Even if there are enemies left, they should be pretty easy to suppress.
I just want to go home, man.
Me too.
With that look on your face, Trigger, I know exactly what you want to
do. If Trigger's ready to kick ass, then so am I.
Damn straight. We're with you, Trigger.
It's decided then. Let's get all the aircraft and haul ass to Tyler Island. Although we can avoid the Arsenal Bird's anti-air network, there's still remnants from the Erusian forces. I want to get to the island without getting into any unnecessary combat. Pick a fast craft and fix it how you want. Pack for a long trip, but remember, if you drag your ass, you'll get left behind.
Strider Squadron, sortie ASAP.
This is Tango 2-3, pursued by multiple tanks and APCs.
They'll all go down if we don't pull back the landing craft. It's what? Abandoned Tango 2-3?
Something's not right.
Tango 2-3, we don't have the firepower to assist you. You're on your own.
Please, we need help.
Wagtail is on the Osean landing ship. What's going on? What did you say?
Multiple boats inbound. Damn it. Prepare for anti-air combat.
This is the AWACS Longcaster. The aircrafts in your area belong to the LRSSG.
Allied aircraft. A retreating vehicle is taking fire. Requesting assistance.
Roger. ID complete.
Shit. These are Osean.
Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
Our air support is here.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Update is on Tyler Island.
Our forces are scattered and on the run.
They're on the run?
We were waiting for retreating units here to carry them out to safety.
Splits up retreating Osean forces. Take out any hostiles in their area. Don't engage till targets are ID'd.
Some ground, don't have more people shooting at them.
Thanks. It's absolute chaos out there. The Erusians are even starting to fight amongst themselves.
Well, now we know what's going on, but shit.
Caution. Pull up. Erusian crosspoint. Don't try to let up. We're taking heavy damage. There's more over here. Bodies of dead civilians. I don't think they were part of the fight. Look at that. They're all lined up. No, they're not combatants. Some of them aren't even wearing shoes. I can guess what happened here. Really don't want to think about it. Half of Erusian bastards. We can play you war crimes. Take photos for evidence.
You're Erusian. Jesus, they're firing at each other. Is this the norm around here?
It's all crazy people.
You're in the middle of a mission to take back the mass driver. The supply ship is a munitions depot. It's highly combustible.
Strider 1, we've identified the unknown targets.
Can you hear us? We're taking fire from multiple enemy tanks. We're moving out. Leave the cat behind. We'll come back to this island one day. Send them off properly. Let's have a photograph. Head back to the street. Some of the presidents here. Anything you want to
Don't pursue too deep. We just need to buy some time. We're gonna stay until Operation Meeting Time. Away from the mass driver.
push him back! Fire! Fire at will! We need more ammo! I count 12 dead bodies here. They seem to be upper middle class. Space Force nearby, so they could be researchers and their families. Most likely, they were involved in something.
Missile.
Our guys even took out the enemy air support. What do we do now? Send in a tank!
Allied retreat looks good.
We can't afford to take any more damage. Yeah, they're into something!
Missile.
It's a big base.
Pull up.
Calling friendly birds. Take out the hospitals in our area. Get us out of this hellhole. We need help while we're still up and running.
We only need an hour tops. We get the advantage to put the enemy down.
Echo 3. Tank fire, but the line is still low on ammo. Hitting the landing craft. Many thanks, Longcaster. We just have to leave our boys to die.
Understood. It's the Osean military.
Don't they know they're on the same side?
They're firing at each other.
This is AWACS Longcaster. We're uploading the latest ID data. Check your TAC terminal.
Hold your fire! I was first. The info is from Allied AWACS. Hold your fire! Roger. Where are we supposed to lead? Who should we follow?
You guys got out alive. You have time to figure it out.
Getting closer. Continue the countdown. The countdown. There's still one arsenal left. If we can steal it from a bomb, then Russia will have a fighting chance. We can't distract the supply ships. Don't fight with your backs to the supply ship. They think we're not far.
Strider 1, target eliminated.
Three strikes, count to 3, and the enemy's gone.
The last vehicle has been destroyed. Let's get out of here.
Let's get moving! Hit the gas and don't let up until we reach the extraction point! I don't want to see anyone, hostile or friendly!
We don't need to defeat. Just delay their advance. Got it?
Missile.
bogeys. Take them down if they're hostile.
Missile.
Understood.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Bogies inbound. Escort fighters, we're counting on you. Should we fire? Even if we're not fired upon? Of course. Chase out the bogies! There's no way they're ours!
Visual.
Like an eagle. Strider Squadron, you're near an armada of bogies. Identify them.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Attack civilian.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Identification complete. It's Erusian bombers and their escorts.
Count's prophecy has come true. Take out all bombers. They'll flatten our allies.
Plenty of civilian casualties as well. Precision bombing is impossible in these conditions. Maybe they know they can't. We're gonna drop them all.
Missile.
Behind the enemy.
All systems ready.
Missile.
We are a go for launch.
Missile. Missile.
Launch control. The enemy is closing. Confirm launch readiness. Affirmative. This is our last chance for Operation Feeding Time. Launch control. Roger that. Graham 2, we're on target. Draw the enemy's attention here. Destroy the mass driver completely. We're signaling our break with Falcon.
UAV confirmed destroyed. The bombers are leaving the island. We're running out of time. Strider 1, target destroyed.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Heads up. These reinforcements are elite.
More bombers approaching. Intercept them now.
He went into the clouds. Lost him. Careful, these guys are good.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Intercept those bombers.
Missile. Missile.
Only half the bombers remain. We can't let even one get away.
Missile.
What the cabin will take them down.
Missile. 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 Missile.
All enemy bombers have been destroyed.
We did it.
Continue with your mission.
Missile.
Can't we flank the enemy and strike them from behind?
Missile.
Bring the anti-tank missile. Hit that heavy armor at the front line. Don't stop. Ambush, stay calm. Reform the ranks. It's fine if we take a little damage. Just finish this fight now.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Strider 1,
Lancaster. She's an ally. Trigger and I'd know that voice anywhere.
That voice. So you're still breathing, Sir Count.
Here, let me have a word. Hey, it's been a while. I had a feeling the two of you were still alive. Remember, stick with Trigger and you'll make it.
I have a bit of intel for you. Share it if you can help these refugees.
Count me in.
That's right. Echo 13, all hostiles are down.
Understood. This is our last chance. We'll see how far we can go.
Missile.
Right. When we make it in time.
The landing ship is waiting for you.
Right. At least we're wounded. This will guarantee us the one way ticket to hell.
Star
Sure we're there already.
Star warning. Missile.
Destroyed all the targets. All bogies should be ID'd now. Mission complete. Okay, Scrap Queen. Send us the target coordinates.
I was thinking about how I'd do that.
Don't you have a laser target indicator?
Why would she?
Star
No,
warning.
Kingster. I think this is the enemy's doorstep. Not me.
Missile. Missile.
Wait, you moron! Wait! What are you doing, dumbass? Here! Attack right here!
Lancaster, we confirmed the location of the flare.
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile. 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 Missile.
Good job! The enemy tanks are too.
Missile.
I don't think I could even do anything with that scrap.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Hurry! Get moving!
That takes care of them. No civilian casualties. Nice going. Do you hear the singing?
Beginning terminal countdown. Pressure stable. Cooling systems on.
Lancaster, a promise is a promise. Here's the intel. I heard it from an Erusian soldier that defected. The supply ships will be launched soon.
Yeah, that is valuable information.
That doesn't sound good.
But can it be trusted?
Not sure. Heard it from a man who said he wanted to atone for his sins. Up to you to trust him or not.
Understood. Good luck.
Releasing safety.
Caution. Pull up.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. 1, 2, 3. The mass driver is accelerating.
The supply ships have been launched from the mass driver. If the supply ships make it to the arsenal bird, they'll be able to resupply it. They may be loaded with new weaponry that we don't even know about. We have no choice but to take down the supply ships before they can get within the Arsenal Bird's air defense network. You gotta hurry or you're not gonna make it.
Missile.
3 minutes to the enemy's air defense network.
Missile.
All aircraft, remain on high alert. We got bandits incoming on radar.
Missile.
You're gonna have to forget about them for now. Focus on destroying that supply ship first.
We're sitting ducks like this.
If we let the supply ship get too far away, we'll never be able to catch it.
I was expecting this to be easy. All they can do is fly fast.
The supply ship's in the clouds. We can't find it. Did you see that explosion? Looks like that's one of them down.
Remember, there are 2 supply ships out there. Hurry up and shoot the other one down. We've calculated the remaining time. 90 seconds to the enemy's air defense network.
Don't lose them.
Missile. Missile.
That plane's doing for myself.
Missile.
60 seconds remain. You're out of chaff and flares.
I'm usually pretty good at playing tag. These guys have a head start.
Hope you're all enjoying the pretty fireworks. If this thing had any windows, we could have seen it for ourselves. Nice work, team.
We're gonna find ourselves a boat and leave this island. We'll be taking the refugees, along with any deserters from the Erusian military.
Who's the girl that ran into tanks with the smoke canister? A few more crazies like her, and life down there may have been a tad bit easier.
What do you think would have happened to those refugees if you hadn't intervened? The princess saw what happened. They were little kids.
That's why I like the sky. You don't have to see those types of things.
Does this mean we're that much closer to ending the war?
No, we just basically prevented it from going on forever.
Count's right. We have no choice but to return to our original base. Our base that is nearly out of food and fuel. We need to do something.